what we're going to do is we play in the most difficult way possible. And then obviously when it comes to grand finals, you practice in such a handicapped environment. When you're back and playing 100%, that's when you're going to be able to put the nail in the coffin and say, we are the best. But I do believe we're going to have an interview with Buram in just a second. I want to hear what they have to say because truly they have done so many interviews. Do they have anything left to say?
Well, let's hear them out.
Love it. Oh, no sound.
Oh no. Hey, Brighto, who's Brighto?
I don't know. You translate, I suppose.
Great. More English?
What? Classic Buram interview. I mean, they've got to come up, they've got to say something, right? So just keep it nice, keep it simple. But, okay, how many more interviews are we going to get today, AJ? Because we already said for us, the favourites, 5 more interviews.
Not from Buriram,
Okay,
from
okay.
Team.
That's being generous, extremely generous. But, I mean, this is also probably going to be a bit of a statement for the other teams, seeing how strong Buram is already performing on map number 1. Because normally on days where teams can generally pick up points against Buram is when the team is a little bit slow to wake up, where first 3 games they're kind of not there, and then game 4 onwards you're just like, okay guys, that's it, our chance to get points is over. But this is a game 1 Buram, and we've still got 5 more games to go. So I guess the question is, what's going to be the change of plan for everyone else, knowing that Buram is on top of their game, and also having to be worried about AEG and RRQ also being on the field, because these 3 teams, right, they are the 3 teams to watch out for in this particular group. They're going to be the ones to cut everyone's dream short. How do you survive them?
You don't. You just focus on your own gameplay and you try to fix all of your mistakes, right? There are key factors here that some teams have just been failing at, time and time again. Teams like Toda or whatsoever, they don't seem to be having a good read on the circle overall. You see a lot of early skirmishes from them, and clearly this is a science that can be worked out. You look at teams like Buriram, you look at teams at RRQ, they're constantly avoiding those early engagements, which gives them so much of room to play around with in the later part of the games.
Just having a couple of look at these signboards here, where I'm already here, ready to play, literally telling everyone to run, which I think is some good advice, right? If you know you're running into Buram, which the teams don't, unfortunately, they don't know whoever they're running into, but if you know you're running into Buram, just run. Stay away from Buram. I mean, what are the advice? Or alternatively, alternatively, just don't be in the same group as program. I think that's also some good advice. And
Man,
maybe the teams could
that's very bad advice, man. That's terrible advice. The answer is be like Falcons. Learn the method of Buriram from Buriram and smash Buriram. Rip away their titles. Make them cry. That's what you should be doing.
I thought you were going to tell me play dead during the group stage and then actually play for reals in the finals. Okay, clearly we're not thinking the same here. But
It'll be really cool if a team could do that, right? I would love to think that Team Falcons are playing dead, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They are trying. It's just that engagements are not going their way. And this is the Free Fire World Series, Southeast Asia. And come on, Free Fire, it belongs to the Asians. It has been proven time and time again. So this is the creme de la creme of Free Fire teams in here. It's going to be difficult to maintain your consistency, which is why we got to salute the teams who are up at top.
Salute the teams that are on top. And I think at the same time, you can't have somebody just play dead, as I said before, during an entire group stage, because that, I feel, is also going to impact the ego for your players. And this is something that I think viewers are not going to quite understand. The players at the top of the food chain for any esport, for them to get there, that player has to have a certain level of ego in their ability as a player. And obviously, to bump up that ego, you got to play well, you got to get wins somewhere, you got to get booyahs, you need something to maintain that ego, because you need that self-confidence to be able to play against other people that are on that same level, right? So I don't think playing dead is really the strat here. Maybe some experimentation, trying out some crazy stuff, but everyone's got to get wins somewhere to just maintain their mental state throughout the tournament, because it doesn't feel good to lose whether you're trying or not.
And this is case in point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, where we are going to see massive points up top and very few points down below, just because there are some teams who are really, really struggling to find those engagements. But surprisingly, teams like PE Sports as well as Indostars did not struggle all that too much this time round. They picked up decent number of points, and this is going to be important, right? PE Sports once again looking for the top 12, and I mean, you've got some other teams who are looking for the top 12 as well, but it's not as easy for them, right? Team Dota, for example, the struggle is real.
I think realistically, we're kind of looking at the teams, let's say from 10th place to 14th. I think that's really the safe zone right now. It can absolutely change, right? It takes one of the bottom teams to have a crazy day of performance to maybe make it up there, but that's a very big ask. We are halfway through the competition, right? We've still got 3 more weeks to go, so there is a chance for that comeback to happen. But as I always say, it's better now than never, right? You've got to make it happen at some point. So maybe for some of these teams, you get your butt kicked by Buriram again in this one game of Bermuda, and then somehow, some way, somebody wakes up a purgatory, and that is it. We might have another team competing for top 12.
It's now or never, but Free Fire has made me change that statement to it's now or next week, because we've got 3 more weeks after this week is over. So a lot of time to catch up. And the points down below, they're not too far apart from each other. I mean, if you really look at things, Indostars, Heavy, PE Sports, they really need like one super solid day. And today could just be the day. And if today is not that day, then you don't look from jumping from 14th to maybe the 5th spot. You just look at moving 1 rank every single day of play. And less than 2 weeks you're in here already, right? But obviously, consistency, not massive points, but consistency, just finding the final circle would be a good start.
Finding the final circle, playing maybe in an opportunistic way, right? Trying to go for those sneaky steals, trying to just come in and invade a team that is currently being attacked. I think sometimes you need to play unconventional if you want to keep up with the competition. Like, I would like to see some of these teams at the bottom, like, at some point, you're going to reach the point where it's like, if we don't try something, we're never going to climb, right? So you've got to try some crazy stuff, and maybe that craziness is what puts you back in the running to grab these points. Now, back onto the whole concept of these bottom teams trying to pick up points, trying to just make that one placement higher, right? I think we kind of just have to question their ability of, can they get those points? Because in this grouping in particular, it is hard to get points.
Yeah, it most definitely is super duper hard to get those those points, and Hua Esports realizing that, right? Just moments ago, you guys saw the head-to-head between Jonah and Yanbin. Yanbin picked up those decent stats, and he has been able to maintain those decent stats. But Hua Esports, on the other hand, has not been able to maintain their standing on the overall leaderboard. They have been slipping slowly but surely down. G now has overtaken them. W is just sick and tired. We thought you guys were going to bear the flag, and now we got to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're still in top 12. That's all that matters, AJ. Now, what else matters is our next matchup, folks. We're jumping right into Purgatory, game number 2 here for our teams in our groups. And unfortunately, for Group A, if you are struggling for points, this is your last play day because you played yesterday.
Absolutely. And of course, a flight path is not going to be available for us just yet as we watch the beautiful icons dropping into this wonderful map of Purgatory. I just want to figure out who's got the hot drop.
Who got the hot drop? And at the moment, it's a little early to say. There we go. So no hot drops at the moment, it seems. Todak playing very risky. And we see this a lot from Todak, actually. Very, very spread apart. And PE Sports as well, actually. Both of these teams playing very, very greedy. But they can get away with it. No, there's no one within the vicinity, so feel free to do whatever they want. Buram and God of Wolf, though. Are we going to see a hot drop? It looks like that's not the case. It looks like Buram is just going to skedaddle over to Quarry. No? Okay, hang on.
Yep.
Really? Oh my gosh.
See, whatever you just said, that sounds like my mind voice when I'm deciding what to eat for breakfast every day. Like, am I going to go down? No. Am I going to go down? No.
As if I knew what they were thinking.
TOW. They are in trouble. As Moshi finds an easy one with the XMA. Moshi, you are not an assault rifle user. Put it down.
Look, free elimination, AJ, okay? You just pick up whatever you're taking. Unacceptable. It's an elimination. I get another one.
Moshi, this is off script, Moshi. Moshi
needs to right.
He can
Should be called sayonara.
He can only take eliminations when he's got the sniper or the marksman. He's not allowed to play with any other guns. Moshi needs to be banned. We need to come up with a brand new rule in the rule book next.
I think that's just banning Moshi outright. Although on fire, being taken out by a Dutz there. Again, very split plays from some of these teams. Just trying to go for the scouting play, maybe also trying to go for the looting play. I don't mind if teams want to try and go for the scout play. I just get a little bit concerned when I see too many players split from the team, right? Like once you see everybody split, that's when I'm just like, oh, that is risky.
That is risky indeed. And risk is like, well, breakfast, I guess, for Fel.
This man can't think what he wants for breakfast.
I clearly skipped my breakfast today. I'm still grumpy about that. But why esports? Not as grumpy as why esports losing this spot on the overall leaderboard, getting kicked down towards the bottom. The guys are about to lose their top 12 spot, right? Why is about to be the old team Flash again, and I hope that does not happen to them because I was so excited for them this season.
Well, maybe this is the day, this is the game where they just say, all right, boys, let's put our foot down, get those points, and we're safe for another day. Speaking of safe, no engagement there as
I don't know why I thought you were going to say they were going to get ready to get kicked out of the top 12.
Okay, I know I could be a bit of a pessimist sometimes, but not today. I'm feeling a little positive, so let's get with the program.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, why esports would be so upset to hear that. I mean, come on.
Okay. Look, just be glad they don't understand me. I think just listening to me in general, it might give somebody a disease.
But I am disappointed. Well, I'm really disappointed. I super hyped you guys up on week 1, and I wish to do more of that. But of course, another team that I would love to hype up is Team Expand, currently struggling in the competition, having fun between Vamos and Toda on the overall leaderboard. They're currently 17, 16 of course sits Vamos, 18 sits Toda, and Toda would love to get out of the bottom spot. And they are playing today, so they've got an opportunity.
They've got an opportunity, but they really struggle to make the most of these opportunities. I mean, we've said this earlier today, like the teams that are towards the bottom of the bracket in this particular grouping, they already know this is going to be a bit of a struggle city, basically. So just pick up eliminations wherever you can. Otherwise, try and pick up placements. It's just, I've never really been a fan of teams focusing entirely on placements, because if you get eliminated eliminated trying to go for placements and you end up in bottom 3 anyway, you've got no eliminations to your name. You don't have those compensatory points.
Compensatory points. I like that. But okay, some slow-mo for you guys. We're just having fun with the cameras. But, props to Mr. Wasana for reaching 100 eliminations in FFWSC for the first player to break the 100 elimination record. That's pretty insane. And obviously, RRQ is going to be a little messed up in their heads, right? Because they're like, we should have been hitting that. But the consistency is just not there for the Indonesian squad.
I think at the same time, when it comes to the Indonesian teams, like they spread their eliminations amongst themselves. They don't really have that one person getting everything. Now, Hua Esports are about to run into attack all round, and it doesn't look like they've caught wind of this, so they could be ambushed here.
See, here's the thing. Okay, Buriram spreads the eliminations through the squad as well, all right? But we'll catch up with that conversation in a little bit. But it doesn't seem like Hua Esports going to go down just yet. They're just laying out those blue walls just for a little bit of extra defense so that they can rotate away. Hoping and praying attack all around does not come knocking down on their doors once again.
Boy, makes that first move. Oh, look at that GOW fighting into expand. And I mean, so far the Axel, he just wants to pop heads if he can. Demon, though, going to be getting revived, and Isa as well. So, God of Wolves, they might be down to their last player here, but they do have some players flying in on the other side of the map to try and recoup their losses after this failed fight up against expand.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's Isa and Deanna. Isa going down first, Deanna following. Unfortunately for GOW, all two spread out in the open. They didn't have those defenses there to back each other up. But of course, they do have those players quite far away to bring those revivals back through. So Expand managed to catch a few lucky points out there. Let's see if they can continue with the good start.
Surprised we didn't see anything happen here with the tackle round and Hua Esports. If anything, I'd probably say Hua Esports dodged a bullet because they do not want to be eliminated this early on in the round.
A few bullets.
Oh, I don't know if you want to shoot any bullets, okay? Because you don't want to attract any attention, right? So.
Yeah, it's a tackle around. They'll bring a few. They'll bring a few. Unfortunately, we don't get to see that showdown between the two squads just yet. But continuing what I was saying, Buriram spreads the eliminations throughout the whole squad as well. I mean, Wasana has 100, Moshi has 83, Jonah has 81. Yeah, you get my point. These guys are monsters. The rest of his team members are almost close to that 100 points as well from the eliminations, which is insane from a squad.
Oh, looks like Indo Stars are about to run themselves into PE Sports, and PE Sports going to do their best to actually get into a vehicle and just get out of it. They're like, sayonara, boys, I'm not dealing with this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the elevation in itself will help PE Sports out, and they don't drive away. Very smart maneuvering from PE Sports, just using the vehicle to leap away from that fall damage off of this cliff, managing to reposition and then getting into a safe spot. The Stars, on the other hand, have brought a little bit of too much attention to themselves. Thoda will find Vamos and the Malaysians to prey on each other since they can't find points elsewhere.
Oh, they have no idea that they're fighting their brothers as well. And look at this, Toda going to be eliminating Vamos one by one. And remember, Vamos, this team was heavily injured because they had to be brought back into the game. So under-equipped, giving points away to Todak. And Vamos, I mean, obviously they still have a player left, but they have to reset again for the second time.
Toda desperately needs these points, so good on them for picking up the 4. They are 35 points behind Expand, who are in the 17th spot, so there's quite a bit of maneuvering for them to do before they can break through the top 12. While esports, on the other hand, have to find that final circle if they do not want to be visiting the teams in the bottom 6. As attack all around exits their defensive spot, this could just be something that Hua manages to make good use of. But either way, they have to wait for the indication for circle number 3 before they get out of their defensive spot.
Yeah, I am keen to see where that next circle is going to be. And it looks like Vamos have been caught. Last player taken out. So for Vamos, super early out in this game. Very unfortunate for them for this particular round. Hopefully they can recoup their losses in that next matchup. But yeah, big early drop for Vamos. I don't even think they had any eliminations to their name, so it's going to be a 0 for this team.
18 Deer and Squad, one of the proponents of the Trogon, as you guys saw on the lower thirds moment ago. But come on, okay, here's the part where I start to make appeals to the Garena Development Board.
Here we go. Here we
Please, the patch needs some sort of chaos thrown in here. Remember when those portal goals were first introduced? That's the kind of pace in the world of Free Fire that just gives me life. But now this current pacing, I need coffee.
Okay, so basically this man is saying, can you please create an overpowered mod where everything is overpowered, and then we'll have a lot of action. Okay, got it. And at that rate, we may as well just make the circles 3 times smaller. Okay, got it.
Hey, that's a fantastic idea.
Oh gosh. No.
Terrible idea.
Okay.
Maybe circles 10 times faster, but that'll bring the match to
I think the games will be too quick. Yeah, I think the games will be too quick.
See, that's why I'm not a developer. But of course, RRQ are going to be chilling. AG Global chilling as well. Everybody's chilling. It's purgatory at the end of the day. It's a huge map.
It's a huge map, and I don't believe we're going to be looking at a water circle. So the fact that we have 11 teams, we're at the third circle as well, we are going to start seeing some action, AJ, okay? So make sure you hold on to your pants, because we're going to be seeing some bodies hit the floor.
I was holding on to it before you even said it.
So you're holding a coffee mug.
I'm done with my coffee. I need another one.
Okay.
My wife's not responding to my messages. Global can't really shoot no fish in a barrel. They did find a couple, but they'll have to be a little bit patient because there's just way too much of cover in the compounds now. Falcons, on the other hand, though, just trying to get a little lucky here, trying to shut down attack all around. But little do they know, one sneaky little GOW player right behind, or maybe they do know.
I don't think they do.
No,
the
they
team
don't
is
know.
moving back.
Oh, no, they know.
Or
Oh, no, they know. Oh, they know. They definitely know. Bye-bye, Tan. Yeah. Oh, he still stays alive. This is a survivor. Indeed, Tan is so impressive, but unfortunately, he only managed to buy his squad extra 10 seconds. For I have no idea what GOW is doing. This team is just scattered all over, but Indostars are not scattered. They are being shut down one after the other, though, by Team Buriram. Grenades after grenade being tossed on in at them. Valley scratching the surface here, and Buriram might just be attacked from the back as Expand is watching this breakdown.
Not just Expand, but I think Todak is also coming in from the low, like from the high ground. So I think they're going to catch wind of this, and Jonah actually ends up dropping to the ground super low. Should be able to be picked up here by the team because Indostar's looking to reposition. A bit of an awkward position now for Buriram. They used so many grenades, and many of them didn't even connect.
Was it on sale this time around, Buriram? Because I did not see the flash sale. Buriram just wasting those grenades, and you are absolutely right, barely connecting with those Indostars players, and now they are, well, still a few grenades rich. Wasana supplying a double. Don't do it. Wasana has just sent in his final grenade. But goodness me, it seems like Raz is going to be chucking a few at Buriram this time around. Now, Buriram started this fight. 18 here just popping on in. Kick up the touchdown. 18 here does not care. And he just sprays down the players on the side of Buriram. Limdo turned around. Wasana cannot get away. And Buriram out in 11. Come on, they were just poking the hornet's nest with all of those grenades. That was uncalled for.
And on the other side of the cliff, we can see RRQ running into Expand, and they're trying to run into this team at bay, trying to get on top of them for Capto, trying to hold the fort here for Expand. No players have been dropped so far for Expand, but they are playing on the low ground, so it's a little difficult for them to try and aim uphill.
Expand now in a tight little pickle, mostly because the blue has left them high and dry. RRQ trying to gatekeep all of the players. Ajab down on the ground, picking up him up is going to be a tad bit difficult. He gets a sliver of health, and Abe makes good use of that. Tufas cannot get to the rest of his players. FGL brought out to melt down the glue walls, but Captain Tufas needs to get away alongside Axel. They sneak into the circle, but not the hell. No, stops them dead. So, and that is just no way Expand could have survived that onslaught up against RRQ, the circle and all.
That was dirty. That was practically two versus one, right? A team and the blue zone versus you. And also RRQ, they're not done yet. They're looking for more blood, running into AG Global and Indostars, but going in for their skirmish. Look at that, no Raf! Good
Now that's looking to get the MVP off of this match. RRQ on fire. Pulls out the time turner. Potentially accidental there. 100 HP left on him. Ma'al on that backup as well as RRQ fights at the back of Indosat. Raz dropping by to say hello to the rest of the team members. A good solid glue walls will keep him away from the team. But AG Global shutting down a couple of bullets as well as defenses. But Indosat punishing the players from the side of AG. Caramel has been blocked away already, but it's just a matter of time. And this distraction does not serve up as the opener for RRQ.
Carol actually just hijacking the vehicle in the process, but Raph can't quite get the elimination. No, he gets him in the skull. But what's happened in the back lines, 18D and Raz, because they were trying to buy time going up against RRQ. Now it's down to Raph and Liam to play up against the entire RRQ roster.
Oh, fantastic use of the opportunity for RRQ. They just waited for that opportune moment and then shut down two players. And now here is the follow-up. Liam, what can you do, sir? Has got that level 3 gun on him already, but this SMG can spray. Can the guy pray? I'm pretty sure he can, but who's going to listen to these prayers? Abe! The shot from afar do not find the connection, and Liam once again being tagged up by the circle, and Abe follows up. Strong squad RRQ is.
Liam, I think he ran out of glue walls there, but look at this though, the fight continues. Hua actually running into RRQ's territory. They've lost one player. It's now down to Yanbin, who has the vehicle, trying to play behind him, but against the entire RRQ roster, I think he's about to lose his head. And here we go. Hua Esports, 4th place for the round. But look at this, AJ. 3 teams with 4 players, a couple on the ground. We do have one on the ground here for PE Sports, but it looks like it's going to be a 3-way.
Oh, the consistency from PE and RRQ is mind-blowing, but Van will be sacrificed out in the open. On fire, down on the ground, cost 2! Went in for the save, but that was a mistake. Being shut down as well by Falcon. And now next on the menu is PE Sports. Ma'al goes in, finds LBT, pulls out the time turner. LBT with a solid blue wall behind him, but that cuts off the rotation. LBT still surviving. A face says now's the time. Drops him, and don't cry. The final player from PE Sports will fall as RRQ secures a booyah at Purgatory.
The prophecy of stats continue with RRQ getting the booyah for the round. And for RRQ, again, this final circle, they had such a positioning advantage because you had Falcon and PE Sports. These two teams were locked in combat with one another. And they were just kind of hoping that RRQ wouldn't really stick their nose into their business, but you know, RRQ, this team is going to stick their nose into everybody's business. They're going to take you down with them. So, RRQ, I'm impressed. They have picked up a fantastic round of points for today. And I think another thing going in their favor, Program got eliminated so early in the round. In probably one of the most bizarre ways too.
Yeah, they deserved it. They put it up, definitely deserved that early elimination this time around. They were just mucking around. They were not being serious at all. There is no world where I have ever seen Buriram waste that many grenades and not walk away with anything. That cannot have been a miscalculation. That was just Buriram just having some good fun. They are clean, more than 100 points up at the top of the table. And they were like, let's not just flex on these guys, right? And that mucking around, I don't think they expected to get eliminated. I think they were just teasing, but you play around in fire, you are going to get burned eventually.
Yeah, so RRQ securing themselves a fantastic round of points for our second game of the day. And here we go, as you can see, right, PE Sports and Falcons, these guys were so busy with one another that when RRQ came into the picture, these teams, they were already down on resources, they were already injured, they were already down on players, so it was really just easy pickings for RRQ for this final round.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is what makes RRQ so deadly, and this is what we were talking about back in Bermuda as well, right? Staying super silent, picking up all of those very super decent loot, and being such a menace in the final circle, but mostly because they are combat ready, unlike some of these other teams. So getting into too many of those early skirmishes. And speaking of early skirmishes, Falcons, the fall this time, may not have been too early, but the early skirmishes did punish their final few circle games.
Yeah, that's always going to be a factor going into those final circles. If you've ever had to go for a team reset, right? You've been wiped, you've got one player, you've basically revived everybody. Your team is naked. You need a little bit of time to get that loot up. And if you have a team that's gone for a clean game and a team that had to go for a reset wipe, who's going to have the more loot? Who's going to get more equipped? So, yeah, for Falcon, Dragons, unfortunately, they weren't able to get that final booyah, but I think they're pretty happy with how the round went in general, right? Like the fact that they were able to make it this far and get all of those eliminations as well. But I also kind of just want to point my fingers at PE Esports. This team is starting to pick up, and I question, is it just a one-round thing, or is PE Esports going to be a threat today? Because I would love for them to be a predator today rather than prey.
Okay. If they got to the final circle, they were not predating on anyone. They got 2 eliminations, so it was
Predatoring enough.
yeah. They did not. Mosquitoes get more than that. They got 2 eliminations, all right. It's nothing to flex, but getting to the final circle, it's a good start. So you need to start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta get those points, and it's round 2, so there's still gonna be 4 more games to go. We do have an interview already, though, so let's see what RRQ have to say after getting their first booyah. Let's see.
I was expecting a booyah from the A-Thai team so that we could watch the interview again, but it's okay. If it's Indonesia, we'll throw it over to them.
Congratulations, RRQ, guys!
Son, hallelujah.
So everyone, I'm Bibi Lee, and I want to talk first with Dude.
She introduced
Hi,
just
Dude.
herself?
Hello.
What the hell, baby?
First of all,
Hi everyone, I'm Baby Lee. Nobody cares about you, Gwen.
Apa perasaan kamu sekarang karena kan ini booyah pertama kalian untuk hari ini?
Perasaan biasa aja sih, kan minggu-minggu kemarin juga sering booyah.
We actually don't feel nothing much because we got booyah already in the previous week.
Okay, very confident. And next, after your team's recent booyah, which strategy did you and your team use?
Setelah booyah tim kalian yang baru aja ini, strategi yang manakah yang kalian gunakan bisa akhirnya booyah?
Strategi nggak ada sih, kita bunuh Falcon aja udah pasti booyah.
So we don't have specific strategy, but with killing Falcon, that's enough.
Okay, Team Falcons, are you hear that? Okay, so last but not least, how confident are you to get booyah in the next game?
Oke, terakhir tapi nggak kalah penting, seberapa percaya diri kamu untuk dapetin booyah lagi di game selanjutnya?
Percaya diri banget lah. Ya setiap match day kita pasti dapat booyah lah, minimal 2 lah.
Okay, we are really confident. At least in each match day, we always get 1 booyah.
Oh wow, I hope your confidence can bring booyah in the next game. Okay, so we will see how about a strategy, how about play in the Indonesian team. So, Caster, take it away.
That's what confidence looks like.
I have concern.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes. So when a team says they don't feel anything when they get booyahs, that's when I start to feel a little bit concerned, because that's when I say, is your level of respect in your games going to remain the same as it was during the tournament? Because once you sort of take a look at booyahs and say like, oh, we don't feel anything anymore,
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried teams lose their drive, right? You need drive to be able to maintain that top level performance. And my boys are cute. I love them, but there are definitely times I've seen them in competitions and they just sort of.
No, ma'am. This is basic economics. All right. You have your favorite dish, the first mouth. Okay, it tastes so good, and then you finish the bowl. If you order bowl number 2, it don't taste as good. You order bowl number 3, don't taste as good. You order bowl number 4, you throw up. And that's what RRQ is trying to say. You know, yeah, we got a booyah, but there's nothing to flex about. But eliminating Falcons, that's what brings peace to our hearts. And you see, that's something that I respect. I mean, fighting words from RRQ, and they truly deserve it, right? They have got the authority to do that now because they have met Falcons quite a number of times. And well, Falcons is not having the greatest of runs out there, let's just say that.
I mean, I wonder what Falcons say, right? They can interview themselves and just be like, oh, wow, okay, cute. Rolls their sleeves up and be like, okay, challenge accepted. And then we start seeing some hot drops. I'd love to see that, but I'm very sure they're not watching the stream because that is against the rule book, FYI. So,
Mahal's going to be so salty. The season where he keeps picking up MVP after MVP titles, we are actually giving away money to the biggest predator of every week, not the one that picks up the most number of MVP. So it's the wrong season, sir. But phenomenal performance from Mahal, and the consistency is mind-blowing. And on top of all of that, it was mostly Duts and Abe getting those long-range engagement snipes instead of Mahal, the sniper of the squad, who is so proficient at usually doing that.
Yeah, I think it's just the team dynamic for RRQ, right? And in particular for that game, Duts and Abe, they played a really important role for the team because they were constantly running into team after team after team. And you need Duts and Abe to provide those openings for Razor and Mal to come in to basically finish off those eliminations. So I think it's just also just a testament to how well Duts and Abe play their role, right? Start things for the team, create those openings so that your backliners have that opportunity to go for the finish ups. But elimination leaders, it's going to be Duts. This man deserves it. He's played his role that last game.
But
can he play better next game?
Elims leader, we've got 5 names here, and 4 out of 5 is from RRQ, and that's the team that got the booyah. So this was a massive booyah coming through from the Indonesian squad. A 31-point bomber out there on the battlefield. Of course, Mahal once again being praised, this time for the damage that he brought into the competition. Make it with the 14 grenades. Unfortunately, Expand, all they did was waste those grenades. They didn't really get a lot of nade drops out there on the battlefield. So perhaps a little bit of adjustments needs to come through from Make It in the future. But that's great potential. The fact that he managed to even find 14 to use is pretty impressive.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't Ram that got this award because we saw so many grenades before they were eliminated. But maybe it was sure. Okay, I wish we could see the numbers. We don't get that inside look into some of these stats. But game standings for team number 2 for today. We have RRQ sitting pretty, top place, 31 points. This is a massive pickup for this team. Second place, like look at the point distribution. 15 for Falcons, 12 for Indostars, and 11 for PE Esports. Like normally you see these teams down here picking up a couple more, but extremely top heavy for this round.
Yeah, sometimes I say I hate to repeat myself, but I'm a liar. I'll repeat myself once. There's a huge difference between the top of the leaderboard for the standings from every game between the bottom. But the surprising thing here is the teams that are at the bottom are very weird names. Like put it down at the bottom this time, bro. So
points.
yeah, and of course PE Esports up at the top. Falcons finding the final circle. So these are the kinds of changes where are not expected. But once again, this is the Southeast Asian best out there on the battlefield. So every single game is going to be unpredictable unless of course you're an RRQ fan. We are strong now.
Yeah, and this is going to help RRQ close that gap with Ram if they're really trying to play for that first place, right? Because for all we know, they're just playing whatever. Maybe number 1's not really the goal. It's just if they get the booyah, great. And that round in particular, I mean, 4 points versus 31. That's a pretty big jump. And I kind of wonder, can RRQ make that catch-up happen? Because we know normally in the Indonesian grouping, that team tends to thrive. So maybe today, if they can pick up a whole bunch of points and then they do their general thrive business, then maybe RRQ can beat them regardless.
Maybe they can, but what they most definitely will need before doing so is a quick short break. So when we come back, 2 more games for you guys. It's just getting started.